this is an overview of the dogs I've had. It's like I'm wearing a dog T-shirt, so I figured I at least better talk about the dogs. Anyway, this is just kind of a list, and I'm hoping I don't leave any of the dogs out. It's like that would be bad. So when I was a little kid, when we were little kids, we had a couple of dachshunds. I was told two. I only vaguely remember one of them. I don't remember their names. My parents are gone, so I can't ask them. I don't know if they would remember them or not. My dad probably would have remembered at least one of their names. But actually, I've got a picture of like a stroller with the dachshund, like a little carriage, baby carriage, actually, a toy baby carriage with the dachshund inside of it. And I just have a vague memory of one of them, and I'm not sure what happened to them. And it's like so. As an adult, we didn't have any other dogs until I was an adult, and my boyfriend that I was living with at the time, Ken Tanike, he went and got a puppy, Dynamo. He named Dynamo. It's like the name didn't fit her at all because she was just a very sweet dog. She looked like a small white German Shepherd. She should have just had a different name. And I was kind of upset when he got her because he didn't tell me about it in advance. But anyway, so there's Dynamo. And then I got Tasha. Her legal name was Natasha, but that's like I called her Tasha. She was my first and only Bouvier. And that led me into like going into joining the Bouvier Club and being involved in the club, which, and I got her in 1978. I think we got Dynamo probably around 77, something like that, 1977 maybe, 76, something like that. And then Tasha I got in on July 4th weekend in 1978. And then I still actually belong to the Bouvier Club, Southern California Bouvier Club, after all these years. So anyway, so there's Tasha, and a really sweet, wonderful dog. I was going to show you a picture of Dynamo. This is my mother and Dynamo. It's like she actually ended up living in her later years, ended up living with Dynamo, and that's Rodan in the background. It's cutting into the picture. So this is Dynamo with my mother on the sofa. There's no year on it. It's like, but it's, like I said, she's a sweet dog. So and then so I got Tasha, and then I got my first Skipper and his name was Apache, and which led to a long line of having Skipperkeys, because basically the only breed I got after that were Skipperkeys, and that's how special Apache was. It's like if I had, I loved all of my dogs. If I had to pick one dog that was my favorite of all time, it was Apache. He was an ornery little thing. He weighed about, I think, 13 pounds, and it was just personality plus, and he's smart. And I got into, like I said, dog training with when I started with, in obedience. I joined a club called Golden West Obedience Club, and I joined that probably when Tasha was about, I don't know, 6 months old, 8 months old. I actually didn't join the club initially. I went and took their training at a laundry park, and then I joined the club a little while later. And then I got in 1981 is when I got Apache. So, and then I continued the obedience thing for some time. That was one of my big hobbies. I had two big hobbies. I'll get into that later, but in life. But one of them was dogs and dog training and stuff. So, and and here's a picture of Tasha with Glacier, my sister's cat, and somebody's feet. I don't know whose feet those are, but that's Tasha, and she was just a sweet dog. And here's another little picture of Dynamo that I just found. Looking over something. Oh, that's when actually. That's when it's funny because that's when at one time they had a door that like half a door, and I guess they put the dogs in. It almost looks like, I don't know if that must be Apache, I guess, in the back. You can actually see this is Dynamo, but actually you can see peeking over Tasha, and then in the background, I think that might be Apache in the background, with the little ears and stuff. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so and then Apache. It's like, and then my boyfriend at some point got a dog. It was a, it's like it was a puppy, and this was another thing where he shouldn't have taken the dog in the first place. It ended up being, it was cute and everything, but it grew up and it became a great big dog. And his name was Chico, I think, or Cisco or something like that. But he was never called that. We called him Bonehead. Nickname. It's like poor dog. He's staying with Ken, after we broke up and everything. And then I got Godzilla, a dog I named Godzilla. It's like after Apache died. Apache died in 1994 after a nice long life, and I got Godzilla, and I had Godzilla for a good 10 years. I got Godzilla. Apache I got when he was 4 months old. That was the youngest dog I actually ever got myself. And then Godzilla was, I think, around 8 months or 9 months old, and I got him on, uh, I think it was Valentine's weekend from Lynn Brown. That's the first when I first met her. Lynn Brown, I got at a dog show. Picked him up at a dog show. We met at a dog show and got him there. And that was February of 1994. I don't have any Godzilla pictures with me here, but it's like I do have Godzilla. So that's Godzilla. And then and actually I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I also got a border collie named Jester, who I called Jester. I was into dog training and stuff, and border collies are really good obedience dogs. They're very competitive. So I got Jester, and that was 80. Let's see, it was after Apache, probably about 3 years. If I had to venture a guess, I think probably got him around 1984 or something, 85, something like that. I want to say probably about 1985. He was a really good dog. Unfortunately, he had a short lifespan, and sadly, I don't know that I've got any pictures of him. He died of parvo in the beginning, when parvo first became a problem in the United States. And so he lived to be like 7 or 8 months old. It's like he never really had a chance. Beautiful dog, really sweet, and smart and everything. But unfortunately, we lost him. And then I got Flash and Neon together. And Flash and Neon, I got them in. I got them in when Godzilla died. I got them several months later after Godzilla died, and I got them in. I remember it's like I actually celebrate the anniversary of getting Flash and Neon. I got them in September of 19. Let's see, what was it? 2004. That sound right? Yeah, that sounds about right. It's like I think it was 2004 I got them. It's like I got the anniversary written down, but it was like in September of, I believe, 2004. And they adjusted well. They were both. Flash was a younger dog. He was probably about 10 months old, I think. And then Neon, I didn't know it at the time. She never really told me. And I also got them from Lynn Brown. But at some point, I found out their birth date and stuff. And she was born in '96, and so she was like 8.5 when I got her. But and she was a real spitfire. Flash was very sweet, and she was a real spitfire, and really smart. And Flash passed away. Neon passed away in around 2012, and then Flash passed away, I think, in 2017, something like that. And so I had them for a long time. Very, very wonderful dogs. Really. It's like I'm trying to find if I got a picture here. I'm going to show this. This is a picture of Tasha, and that's Starsky. That was my sister's dog, Starsky. They're playing there. And then, yeah, it's like can't remember if I showed this, but that's Dynamo. It's like I don't know why they cut this picture up. Dynamo, and that's George, my cat George, with Dynamo. I just think that's a really sweet, cute picture of them. And let's see. Apache, Tasha, and Dynamo. I think that's me in the picture, but you can't see. Dynamo and Tasha and Apache. And I think I showed the other pictures. Anyway, so that was that. When after Neon died, and I still had Flash. Sometime in the middle of that, before he died, probably around 2015, I ended up taking in a dog named Lady who belonged to a woman named Pam. I can't think of her last name. Um, anyway, Pam, she was an older dog, and Pam, I knew Pam because we used to go to Skipper Key picnics. She hosted Skipper Key picnics at her house for a number of years, and I went to them. Anyway, it's like she was actually she went into a home, and then Lynn Brown took the lady in, and then I ended up taking Lady from her so she would have a home. And sadly, we only had her for about 5 months when she passed away because she was an older dog. But at least, I was glad she got a home. She had a home with us at least, for the last years, the last months of her life. And she actually became attached to my mother, and she was always sit in front of my mother's chair, and then she would reach down and pet her and stuff. And it's like, so that was sweet, sweet. And then, let's see, Flash in the end, it's like, and then last but not least, Rodan. Rodan, Rodan, Monster. His nickname is Monster. Anyway, it's like, so I got him. I think, I need to look it up. I think it was in 2017. I think it was 2017. So I've had him for about 5 years. And he's really, I haven't had one quite like him. He also has a tail. Most of the time they dock the tail on Skipper Keys, but he's really he's got lots of energy, and like I always tell people, it's like whatever dog I have, like right now is my favorite dog. So right, my favorite dog and my worst dog is is Rodan, and his nickname is Monster and Monster Teeny. It's got a bunch of nicknames and stuff. He's ornery, and he's a smart dog. And so that's kind of a brief history, and I'll go probably do some others in more detail about the lives of some of them and what I did. And it's like I did take Rodan to obedience a few times through obedience and basic stuff, and he's gotten better, but he was always he'd have a little graduation. He would always come in last place, even though I worked with him. So anyway, that's my doggies.